Welcome to another not usual story. Before we start, please subscribe and hit the like button. Thank you for your support. In 2013, a strange sleeping sickness hit Kalachi village. Doctors and scientists were not getting closer to figuring out why residents of a remote area in Kazakhstan are falling asleep without warning for days at a time. They started passing out at random at school, at home, on a motorcycle, at work, anywhere. The town's residents were falling asleep suddenly for a period lasting from 2 to 6 days and wake up with memory loss. The sickness has affected hundreds of people living nearby a uranium mine in the Kazakh village of Kalachi. Despite the location, tests have not found high radiation levels. Experts have conducted thousands of tests on patients as well as on local soil and water. They were looking for answers and tried to determine the cause of the disorder, but have come to few conclusions. Sergei Lukashenko, the director of Kazakhstan's National Nuclear Center's Radiation Safety and Ecology Institute, said, "I am positive this is not radon," and speculated that carbon monoxide may contribute to the problem. "We have some suspicions, as the village has a peculiar location and weather patterns frequently force chimney smoke to go down instead of up," he said. The Soviet-era uranium mine, abandoned since the early 1990s, was indeed an early suspect. But its most obvious associated dangers, like radon gas and radiation, didn't fit the symptoms. Victims who didn't pass out suffered hallucinations, headaches, and fatigue. Scientists rushed to Kalachi, a small village of 600 people, and concluded that neither a pathogen nor a man-made toxin was to blame. Theories about mass psychosis and even the supernatural took hold. Kazakhstani officials say they finally know what's causing the sleeping sickness outbreak: carbon monoxide wafting from a nearby uranium mine. It seems possible. The symptoms fit, says Claude Piantadosi, a pulmonologist at Duke University Medical Center. Carbon monoxide binds to human blood 200 times more strongly than oxygen, which means that it doesn't take that much carbon monoxide to asphyxiate someone, even if there's still oxygen in the air. A brain running low on oxygen begins to shut down, causing unconsciousness and other symptoms. But the symptoms are not specific, and that's the problem. The gas is indeed a problem in coal mines. It's what the proverbial canary dies from. But carbon monoxide is the byproduct of combustion. The uranium mine next to the two villages was inactive. So what was carbon monoxide doing in there? Perhaps the mine is more active, chemically or geologically, than usual. Mine experts have other questions too. Like, how did so much gas manage to escape into the open air at once? "I'm having a hard time with this," says Robert Ferreter, a mine safety specialist at the Colorado School of Mines. "It's easy for dangerous gases to get trapped in a closed space, like a mine with poor ventilation." But news reports note people in Kalachi have fallen asleep while riding a motorcycle, milking cows, and selling at a market stall. Gas escaping from a mine would have to travel a long way, also without dispersing and staying at a high enough concentration to cause problems above ground. The answer shouldn't be too hard to get. Carbon monoxide poisoning shows up with a blood test. But back in January 2015, Kazakhstan's own health ministry reported that people who had fallen ill tested negative for carbon monoxide poisoning. But the test can be wrong if people get it too late. There are suggestions that other gases may have contributed to the phenomenon, like carbon dioxide, which is a natural component of our atmosphere and harder to detect. The government's announcement last week did note hydrocarbons, likely methane gas, were also coming out of the mine. And, yes, some of the cases could also still have a psychological component. In any case, officials were not taking any chances with a gas-belching uranium mine. The government was relocating villagers from Kalachi and Krasnogorsky to a safer location. Krasnogorsky was once a mining town of thousands. Since the mine closed, its population has dwindled to just over 100. Now, thanks to the same mine, it may disappear forever. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video with Not Usual Stories.